Hello and welcome back. And in this video, we are going to be setting up our sign up screen and making it work with Firebase. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Currently, we have our sign up screen created, but it doesn't really do anything. It's just an interface. So let's go ahead and go to the main storyboard and I'm going to lower this panel down a bit. All right, so we have this view controller, but if you notice, we do not have any of the class associated with this view controller. So that's going to be the first thing we're going to do. So we're going to right click, create new file, just select CocoaTouch classes, click next or select it. Make sure the subclass is UI view controller, and then we're going to say here sign up view controller. Click next and create. All right. Once you have created this file, we're going to do an import for Firebase first to make sure that Firebase is actually included. And then we're going to go back to our main storyboard, let it load. I'm going to select this yellow at the top bar as well one more time, and under the class custom class we're gonna add this sign up view controller. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to first of all, let's give this button a functionality so it can be dismissed when user clicks on it, so it can be closed. So excuse me. So let's go to sign up view controller. We're going to create at IB action function did close did tap close button. Sender is going to be UI button, and here we simply gonna say self dot dismiss animated true completion nil. So what this says is basically it just says like that you can dismiss current view controller that is currently displayed in animated fashion. So it's gonna slide out of the screen. Okay, so let's go ahead and bind this. So I'm gonna go back and select the view controller one more time and go back to outlet inspector, and then select this received action. Click on this little circle right here, and gonna drag and drop onto the cross button and select the event touch up inside. Okay, once that is set, we're gonna simply click run and wait for the app to launch. Okay, so we have our app ready, and we're going to click on sign up button, and that's going to launch the sign up screen. Now if we click on this button, it should bring us back to the login screen. Alright, so that is the expected behavior, and it is actually working fine. So let's go ahead and create some outlets for these name, email, and password lists. So we're going to simply say at IB outlet week var name field UI text field IB outlet week var email field UI text field week var password field UI text field. So okay, so those are all ready. One thing that we actually didn't do was we didn't hide this as a password. So right now, if you type, you notice that you can see everything that user types. That's something that we don't want. So while we're working on this, we're gonna also fix this and define a custom basically create like mark this as a secured text, so only dots are displayed, not the actual password. Okay, so go back to main storyboard, select that field, go to properties, and select secure text entry. Okay, once we've done that, this field should only display dots, not actual characters. Okay, so let's go ahead and bind these fields as well while we are at it. So I'm gonna go ahead and select this email field and drag and drop. And once again, I'm gonna do the same thing for name. Alright, so I made a mistake of connecting wrong. So this is how you can actually disconnect them. And you can say email is basically this one, name is this one, and then you have password, which is this one right here. Okay, awesome. So what we can do is we can also create an IB action for our sign up button. So add IB action function, did tap sign up button, and sender is going to be UI button, and we're simply going to print our username and password here. So we're gonna do guardlet, so guardlet user name, or simply name, let email let password else we want to return. So we don't want to continue, so we simply say return here. Let me format this. Okay, so for shortcut for format, in case you're wondering, is command A to select everything, and then press control and I to format your document. Okay, so once we have unwrapped these, we're simply gonna try to print it first. So we're gonna say name is name, password. Okay, let's go ahead and no, we can't run it yet because we haven't connected our outlet. So let's go ahead and select the V controller and drag and drop to this sign up view and mark it touch upside down. Not touch upside down, touch up inside. Okay. With that, let's go ahead and build and run. And we should be able to see it right here. So when we click on this sign up button, we should be able to print name and email. So demo demo.com, and as you can see, our password is secure now. And if we click on sign up, there we go, demo and password. These are our these are the three values that we're gonna need for in order for sign up to work. All right, cool. So next part is rather easy, I would say. Like Firebase has made it like really easy. Is the actual sign up process. So if we go, I'm gonna just comment it what we are doing here. So Firebase sign up. So Firebase has an object called Auth. Okay, and let's see. Let's make sure Firebase is actually included, and it should be detecting this object. I don't know why it's not. Okay, let's make sure we build it. All right, let's try it again. Oh, let's see. You know what? We might have forgotten to include the Firebase auth in our project. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to our Firebase, and I want to click on develop Firebase and Firebase demo. And this auth is something that we'd have to actually initialize. So let's go to documentation, and I want to show you what you need to do in order to include the authentication. So it's loading up. Alright. Okay, so what we need is auth authentication and iOS. Getting started. There we go. Okay, so we have included Firebase core. If you look at your pod file, which is why we were not detecting it, because we only included our pod for Firebase core, but we did not include our auth pod. So that is why authentication is not available at this point for us. Okay, so in order to do that, we're just going to copy this, and I'm going to go back to our terminal, vi into pod file one more time. So vi pod file, insert, hit I to insert, go to the very end and paste right here. Okay, include this, hit escape, shift ZZ to close the file, and then do pod install. Alright, this should take care of installing the authentication library for Firebase, and then we should be ready to go. Alright, so let's go back and let's go to our app one more time, go to sign up, and then you're going to say auth, and still not going to detect it because we haven't built it yet. Okay, so we are building, and one thing you're going to notice that as we are including more pods and more dependencies, our library is actually getting a little bit bigger. So that's why it takes a little bit more time to build for the first time, but after that it's all cached, so it takes it doesn't take that much time, so it's actually rather fast. Alright, so let's check it out. So we have auth available now. That is awesome. So now we are simply going to go and say access auth dot auth object, and then we simply gonna say here create user with email, password, and completion block. Okay, that is what we need. So we're just gonna click and enter here. We're gonna enter email that we have extracted from our text field, password, and then completion block returns us two sets of information: auth data, so auth data, and error. Okay, if let's check for the error. So guard error is equal to nil, else we want to return from here. And if we did get the auth object back, then one thing we want to do is we want to save this name that we have actually asked the user to enter. Now, in order to save the name, it's a separate process. It's a change request that we're making. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new function called update user name, and this takes a string. Okay, and we're going to simply say if let user is equal to auth dot current user. Okay, so if authentication is already succeeded, then we're going to say change request is equal to user dot create profile change request dot display name and change request dot commit changes, and it just says if there's any error, and here we're simply gonna say dismiss. So we're gonna dismiss after we have updated user's name. Okay, so we're gonna change it to a new name. So what we're gonna do here is we're simply gonna call this update name, and we are going to supply the name like so. Right, with that our user is going to be created. Now profile name is actually a hidden property, so Firebase does not show you the name of the user in the console on the website, but it is there and you can actually retrieve it, and we can see how that's actually retrieved in future videos. But for now we just gonna know that it's already there. So let's go ahead and sign up and create a new user, demo at demo.com, and the password is going to be password. I'm going to hit sign up, and Firebase is going to do its magic on the backend, and it's going to dismiss the window. If we go back to our Firebase console and go back to our project, you're going to notice that we have one active user now, and if you go on authentication tab, we have our user created right there. All right, so that is how the sign up flow for the authentication works, and we have successfully signed up our user and successfully finished our sign up page. So in the next video we're going to see how to use this information to log in into the app. So we're gonna work on login functionality in the next video. All right, so that's it for this video. Thanks again for watching.